Welcome to another edition of Inspired Messages Monday. It's Sue here. It is November and we've altered the clocks, and so less daylight for us. So we need to get out and about and enjoy any kind of sunshine that we get, interact with the earth energies, and enjoy that, because we are in challenging times. I think we've got a bit more ahead of us. As a challenge, although I love to be positive, I am an optimist, and I think it will be okay in the end. We have got a lot of challenges and a fair few things in front of us. So starting with the 2nd, we're going to have Mercury, which is the planet of communication, squaring Pluto. So this is about manipulation. And at the same time, I got this card, which we haven't had for a while, which is the Devil. And the Devil written the other way is live. So this is, can be a bit of a controlling energy. And as we've got this Mercury square the Pluto, and this came up in the spread, I thought it was quite interesting. So this could be a time of a misuse of power, which we have been having anyway. And as you know, you're a manipulator. We're all being manipulated, really, against our will. And this is really coming from the mainstream media, who are manipulating the masses. This card also, and the 15, connects to Saturn, which you could say Satan, couldn't you? So, there are a lot of dark energies, and with Saturn, we have limitation. So, not being able to move, and we've certainly got that. We can't be free. We do feel limited. And also, it's about fear. Saturn is about fear. That card is about fear as well. So we need to get out of that and try and turn it around. But we are in the throes of this propaganda and blackmail. And lots of people are being blackmailed to take a medical procedure in order to keep their job, which is a trial till 2023. So realistically, by law, they're not allowed to give this medical procedure to more than a few people, because it's a trial. But they're not taking any notice of that. They're kind of continuing and doing this kind of thing. So I think that's really telling that card came up, and we've got this Mercury square Pluto. So on the 4th, we're going to have just before that, we've got the moon card as well. So the moon card is very often about hidden enemies, so it kind of goes with the first card, but also it is about intuition. The moon is the ruler of the sign of Cancer, and it's a very intuitive, because it's water. So you're really being asked to use your intuition against the people that might be against you. This might be on a personal level, but I'm really looking at this on a global level. So this, as I say, does connect to hidden enemies, and so just be careful of that. So looking at the new moon, which is on the 4th, and that's going to be in Scorpio, which again, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So we have a Plutonic theme. This is water, Pluto is water, the moon's water. We've got all this water, and very often there's a lot of emotional turmoil going on, which I think a lot of people are actually experiencing at the moment. Now this new moon is going to be in opposition to the planet Uranus, and so Uranus is very unpredictable. I've talked about it before. And so, you know, we might have sudden shocks that surprise everyone, and basically it's never on the day, it's over you know, a couple or 3 weeks. So look out for that. I know that people around the world are actually fighting for freedom, and in every major city and some smaller cities as well. But obviously the MSM are not actually showing it, they're not broadcasting it. In fact, I heard that there was a massive rally in, I think it was Trieste in Italy, and the MSN put pictures out that there was nobody actually in the main square when it was absolutely packed. So realise that things can be done that you're not aware of, and not everything that you see is real. So you need to be aware of that. Now I also got the 12, which is this card, which is the Hangman, and we had this actually last time, and this card relates to Neptune. So that kind of goes with what I've just said, because Neptune can actually deceive you. It can make, you know, it can pull the wool over your eyes, and it can make out that people are okay and good and kind when actually they're not. So I thought it was really interesting that this card should come up. So it's important with this card to look at the situation from a different direction, a different perspective, and your worldview can be turned upside down, because he is upside down. But when you realise what's going on, there is transformation. Transformation actually happens. So I think this card is very telling. It kind of goes with everything that's going on, and because it came up, I'm urging you to not trust everything that you see. Okay, so the next card that came up was the Justice card, and always happy to see this card, because obviously justice is what we need. We need to stand up for our rights and our freedoms, and there are many court cases around the world, and some are actually being won, and you will find that the medical procedure is not being rolled out in some places, but again, it's not being put out, it's not being broadcast by the mainstream, by the MSM. So you know, this is important, and I know that doctors, lawyers, medical staff, lots of them have all walked out of their job. This is all over the world. Pilots have also walked out because they won't have the medical procedure, and so there's lots and lots going on, and so people are standing up, and this is why I think we have this card, and I feel like we all have to do our little bit, whatever that might be, and I'll cover that a little bit, you know, later. So on the 17th, we're going to have Mars opposite Uranus. So we had Mercury, no we didn't, we had the new moon opposite Uranus, and that was on the 4th. And now on the 17th, we've got Mars opposite Uranus. So more outbursts that happen out the blue, more rebellious behaviour. And it was interesting that the Berlin Wall actually came down under a Uranus transit. So you can see the kind of things that we can look back on, and as astrologers we do, you know, what happened when we had this before, and very often we have these kind of I'm not saying rebellious, but justice and you know, people kind of breaking through, having a breakthrough, you know, against tyranny, if you like. So the next card that came up was the Strength card, and boy do we need that. You know, this is related to Taurus. Taurus is the bull, it's a fixed sign, it won't be moved, and this is how we have to be, really. We've got to be strong, we've got to be, you know, strong in every sense of the word, in the spiritual sense, because actually we're in a spiritual war between good and evil, and so we need to have our spiritual hat on, and she's got that because, and I think I talked about this last time, she has a tricorn hat on, which is got the figure of 8 on it, which is infinity, and it is a spiritual, you know, all the cards are spiritual, but this, you know, they all have a spiritual edge to them. So, you know, we need inner strength, we need spiritual strength, we need physical strength, we need the strength to stand in our own truth for what is right and just, you know. And it's interesting again that this card, you know, comes out, and so we have to have the courage of our convictions, and so please be aware of that. Now on the 19th we're going to have the full moon, and this time it's going to be in the sign of Taurus, and it's a partial lunar eclipse, and because it's Taurus we need to focus on security, finances, because Taurus rules money, and it rules our values as well, and you know, our security as well, and our connection to Mother Earth and how we care for her, and obviously we've got a partial lunar eclipse at the same time, and so eclipses are opportunities for change, and that is basically what we're going through. We're going through massive change on this planet, and it's all meant to be happening. You know, we're going through a quantum shift, a quantum jump, and to get to the other side we've got to, you go through chaos basically, and so although it feels uncomfortable, we have to carry on. There's no looking back, actually. It's forward, it really is forward. And interestingly then the next card I get is the Chariot, and that actually is about moving forward, and you know, not stagnating, because if we stagnate then we don't have any movement and nothing happens. And so this card is actually a card of victory as well. So in the end it's saying, you know, that we will get victory, and eventually, you know, this is about breaking free, and victory, you know, is there for us. Now this card connects to Mars, and we've talked about Mars being the god of war. It is about action again. It rules Aries, and Aries is, you know, people are always about action and doing something. So, you know, this card correlates with that planet, and so that's important. So eventually, as I say, it will get what we want. But as I say, right now we're in a spiritual war between the good and evil. But this is something we have to hold on to. This victory is really important. And if you've got some tarot cards, maybe you keep looking at that and put it out, and keep looking at it, because pictures are very powerful, and it's a great card, you know, to have in the spread. So I'm very happy to see that. Yeah, it kind of balances out the ones that are kind of not very nice. So the next card I got was the Emperor. Now we've not seen the Emperor in any of the spreads, so this is interesting, and it's in a position which is pointing to the direction that we should all be going in, towards the direction that we should be moving in, our life path should be moving in. Now the Emperor, you know, he likes stability, and so what we have to do is, out of the chaos, we build something new. And that's what I feel this card is about. It's about building a new world, a better world, one that where we can interact with the planet, and we, you know, we can go where we want, when we want, and we have no restrictions. Really this is a very important, because, you know, it's going to help us build a new society, but the foundations have to be firm. You know, we can't be building something new on a shaky ground. But this card also connects to Jupiter, the planet Jupiter, and Jupiter always brings us opportunities. It's bountiful, it's joyous. So that connected to this card for me is great, because it means that we will have the opportunities to build a new future, a new world, with the people who want to join us. And we know that already that the world is getting into groups, and that's very Uranian, and we're moving into the age of Aquarius, where it's going to be much more to do with humanity and groups of people and living in harmony. And so, you know, this is a great card really to have. So I usually like to end on a positive note, but the card that I've got people don't like, but it is the card of transformation. And it represents final endings, a rebirth, and, you know, to get a rebirth you have to have an end, you know, and that is what's happening. And it kind of correlates with the last card that I was saying, you know, we're going into a new world. And if we work with all the other cards and the meanings, we are going to get transformation, but it's up to all of us, you know, for that to happen. And so, you know, you might ask what you can do, you know, and say, well, I can't do much. But actually, if you meditate, if you use creative visualization and create the kind of world that you want in your mind, if you use prayer, it's all been documented that prayer and meditation make a huge difference to what's going on. And if you have 100 people meditating, then it's actually it's kind of quadruples into 1 million people is touched. So I was on a meditation last Saturday, there was 400 of us, so that would have meant that 4 million people would have been touched by that energy. So on the 11th of November, that's the 11th of the 11th, at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m, everybody's being asked to do a meditation, a group meditation, and you can do it on your own at 11 o'clock, and you can do it for 10 minutes, you can do it for 15 minutes, you can do it for longer if you want. But the mere fact that all those people are meditating at that time has an amazing effect on the human resonance and on the energy of the planet. So I'm asking you to help if you can on the 11th of the 11th at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m, or you could do both if you remember. So I think that's a good thing that we can do that's not going to cost anything but a little bit of time. There are groups of people banding together, and so if you take my newsletter, I have lots of links on there to videos and information about the groups and how to keep yourself healthy and all sorts of things. So, you know, if you do want to join my newsletter where this video goes on, you will get a lot more information, and you just contact me through my website, which is astrologysue.com. Now, before I finish, I want to read, I have read this before, but probably about a year ago. So this is the armour of God, which is from Ephesians 6 to 10 to 19. 6:10:19, and this is actually from the New International Version. And you know, I am an astrologer. I'm not religious, although I know that there's a power that's guiding us. But this is above my desk, and I actually took it when or printed it off when I heard Sherry Tenpenny, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, who has done lots and lots of research on the medical procedure. And she says it every day before she starts work. So I thought it was a really good idea. And as I say, I have read it before, but I'm going to read it now. And you can find it on the internet and print it out. So if you feel like you'd like to do that, then go and do it. But for me, it really speaks about what we're going through at the moment. So the armour of God, finally be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armour of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armour of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Pray also for me, and whenever I speak, words may be given me so that I will fearlessly make known the mystery of the gospel. So I think that's very powerful and a great thing to have along with your meditation. Put it in your toolbox. Don't forget your intuition. Don't forget to join like-minded groups of people, which are many. One's called the Freedom Hub. So go and find out. And there are also publications being put out there. One's called the Light Truth newspaper. And we've got a new magazine. We've had the first edition, and that's called The Brighter Times. And the brightertimes.world, you can go and have a look at this month's issue, and the same with the newspaper. You can see that back issues, and they are online for you to have a look. And if you want to be part of maybe putting those out to people, you can do just that. So the affirmation I've kept the same because I just feel it's really, really important. And so, hand on heart, I am a sovereign being and a sovereign soul, standing in my own truth of what is right and just. I am a sovereign being and a sovereign soul, standing in my own truth of what is right and just. And yeah, if you need me, you know where I am. Come and say hello. I'm on Facebook, Astrology Sue Lecture. Obviously, I'm on YouTube as well. Got my website, which is astrologysue.com. So please get in touch. Stay safe, stay calm, keep your vibration high, do what you can, and I will see you at the beginning of December. So bye for now. Bye-bye.